How you doing? Welcome to Cooking While Drunk. I am your drunk.
And I'm your camera woman.
Just kidding. She does a great job. Without her, these videos wouldn't be possible. So tonight we're sipping on, my name is Tony, and I'm your drunk. I'm just kidding. Tonight we're sipping on a little bit of vodka, some soda water, lemonade, and some pineapple again, you know. Whenever I peel a pineapple, like I was telling you, I always save pieces, and as it gets a little older, I just slice them up, throw them in the freezer. So I always have some fruit that I can use, fresh frozen. I don't know if you watch Gordon Ramsay's shows, but this one chef owner kept calling his food fresh frozen, and Gordon kept saying, is it fresh or is it frozen? Fresh frozen. How do you have fresh but frozen lasagna? How's it fresh? Anyways, tonight we're making split pea soup. Quick and, well, not quick and easy. I gotta stop saying quick and easy. Simple. How's that? Alright. So here I have an onion that I diced up. This pot is already kind of heated up. So, one onion. This is actually 3/4 of the actual onion because the onion was ginormous. I mean, it was Costco size. Colossal. So we're not gonna cook it all the way down. We're just gonna give it a little bit of a sweat. Of course, we're gonna add a little bit of salt. Season a little bit of pepper. Give that a little stir. So while this sweats out, let's cover the rest of the ingredients. Here we have 1 carrot and 2 stalks of celery diced. I'll be honest, the carrots are actually baby carrots. I just took a giant handful because my daughter loves carrots and she likes baby carrots, so it's easier that way. We also have garlic. I would like to tell you how much I use, but basically the way my wife and I operate, if you think it's too much garlic, you add 2 more cloves, and that's perfect. So that's about 3 cloves, 2 medium size or a couple tiny cloves of garlic, a couple sprigs of fresh thyme. We have 4 cups of chicken stock that we have right here. We're going to let this soften up. So as you can see, it's starting to get a little bit translucent. This will take a few more minutes. And the peas. Whenever you work with peas or beans, you always want to give them a rinse. So it's called pick and rinse. So what I do is I pour the beans into my hand and I pour them into the basket. What you're looking for is you're looking for any type of pebbles that may be in it. Usually you won't see them, but sometimes you will find one, and there's nothing worse than chopping into a pebble when you do your beans. Mostly with the red beans, you'll find them. So just give them a quick little rinse, and the rinse is just to get off any excess dirt or powder. And I usually have a cookie rack in the sink just to put the colander on so the colander doesn't sit in the water. So as you see now, these have gotten nice and soft. You can tell by taking your spatula and pushing down on one. If it splits easy, it's perfect. Now we're going to add our vegetables, our carrots and celery. Let that saute for a minute. Add our garlic. You don't need the celery and carrots to get soft because they're going to be cooking for 45 minutes or so, so they will get pretty soft. And once you start to smell that fragrant garlic mixing with the onions, you know you're ready to move on. So the next step is chicken stock. So this is organic chicken stock. You can use low sodium. If you use low sodium, you might have to increase your salt for seasoning. So I showed this trick before. I'll show it again because this is so easy. So when you open the container, especially these type of aspectic or whatever they're called containers, twist to open and then you pour, but it comes out slow. So you grab a knife, give it a couple good pokes, and then it just pours easily because it's got the airflow in the top. Otherwise it'll do, you know, that water cooler jug that you have in the office, a glub 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 glub. It won't do that anymore. There we go. So we're going to bring this up to a simmer. So we're going to let this come to a simmer, and then we're going to continue with the seasoning. So we'll be back. This will take, you know, a couple of minutes. Once it starts to simmer, we'll move on to seasoning and adding of the peas. All right, see you in a few minutes. Oh, that's a lot of vodka. Oh, hey, we're back. So up to a simmer, boil. So I'm going to turn the heat down a little bit. Give it a stir. Only because I know this pot has a couple hot spots. So I want to make sure nothing sticks to it. Alright, so now we're going to add a couple of sprigs of thyme. And the reason, you can add thyme by itself, but I like, in soups and stews, I like to add the whole sprig because one, there is flavor in the woody part, but it also makes it easier to pick out. So add that in. We're going to add our split peas. And to do this recipe, you could use any combination of split pea. Yellow, red, green. I always use green just because that's the most common variety you can find in the store. Sometimes you will find a bag of mixed split peas, which works great too. That's how we started making, yeah right, me. I started making split peas because I believe we were at Thursday morning, Tuesday morning, sorry, and they had on sale this little jar, and it had like multicolored split peas, and I had a simple recipe on it. And I'm like, oh, let me give it a shot. I don't think I tried it before that, did I? I don't think so. And so I'm like, oh, this is actually a lot easier than I thought. If I made it before, I probably made it in such a failure way. But then I said, okay, well, now let me try again. So little by little, my recipes have been evolving. So as you look in the pot, if you see after you add your split peas that there is not enough liquid, just add a little bit of water. You don't need to add another can of chicken stock because as you know, as it cooks down, the water will evaporate and it will thicken up and become more flavorful. I am going to add another hit of salt because I know it's not that much salt in it. I'm going to add a couple of grinds of pepper. Give it a little bit of stir. We're going to cover this and we're going to let it go for about 30 to 45 minutes until they are just a little bit of a bite, and then we're going to cook them some more. I'm going to do a lid on. It does help cook faster. It just helps kind of retain some of that moisture so you don't have to keep filling up with water. So 30 to 45 minutes until you get to the texture that you like. I like mine a little on the firm side just because I like that little bit of a bite. If you like them softer, you would cook them longer, and you take your potato masher and you just mash it up, and it'll help, you know, kind of like cream it up a little bit. But in this household, we actually like seeing the split peas, and we like the bite of the split peas. So we're gonna let this go. We're gonna have a few more cocktails. Hopefully we won't get too drunk to come back, but if I do, then you'll see a burnt pot. See you in a little bit. How you doing? We're back. So 30 to 45 minutes later, every 10 minutes or so, I lift up the lid and I give it a stir. This pot tends to have hot spots, and I know the lentils will stick. But you see how they kind of broken down, they got a little soft, but they still have a little of a bite. So from here, if you want more of a creamy soup, you fish out the thyme. You can take your whole hand in and just dig it out like that, but I don't recommend it. There's one. I believe I have one more. Let's see if we can find it. No.
Hours later.
Oh well. If I don't find it, I don't find it. It'll come out. Anyways, so from here you can take your thunder stick, your immersion blender, and you can blend it up really good. And then drizzle a little olive oil, serve it like that. But we're just going to serve it just like this. Oh, look what I found. There we go. So as it cooked down, I noticed when I started that the broth was cooking out. So I just added a little bit of water at a time. Not too much to liquid thin it out, but just enough to loosen it up and keep it moist. And keep the split pea submerged in liquid. So now we're done. So one last seasoning check. So now we just need to grab our little bit of seasonings. And for me, you know what it is. It's my Death Stalker. This goes on all soups and stews. Since that's green, that's a great bowl. Let's do this bowl here. All right. This is going to be delicious. Grab a nice soup ladle. Get in there with a nice scoop. Maybe two. And I actually like to put a little bit of celery leaves on top because I love celery leaves. I save them for everything. And I'm going to top this off with, let's see, how about a Cypress black salt? No, where is my applewood smoked salt? Smell that. Can you see that at least? So this is a really nice applewood smoked salt that I have. So it's just salt that's been smoked and a little bit of applewood. Just give it a little sprinkle, not too much because it is salty. Just to give it a nice little hint of flavor. And you can top it off with some sliced Fresno chilies, which is what I normally do. Or you can top it off with any of your favorite sauces. Or you can just grab a spoon and dig in. This is it. Split pea soup. Pretty simple, you know, to do. Prep time, what, 10 minutes? And that includes washing dishes time and prepping everything. It's basically dicing vegetables, throw it in the pot, saute them, throw in some liquid, throw in your split peas, cover and simmer for 45 minutes. You can't beat it. Thanks for watching Cooking While Drunk. Don't forget to hit that button on this side, that little button right there. It says subscribe. Click it and you'll be alerted every time I upload a new video. Alright, thanks for watching. This is Tony. This is Your Drunk. Have a good night.